I'll be the first to admit that sea snails doesn't exactly sound appetizing. So if you've never had this dish before, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. This is Len Xào Dừa, or stir-fried sea snails in coconut milk. This is a classic Vietnamese drinking food, or do nhậu, and it's one of my favorites to eat with an ice cold lager. The briny sea snails are sauteed in fragrant lemongrass, simmered in a rich and creamy coconut sauce, and paired with Vietnamese coriander. The herbaceous and well-rounded flavor of this dish keeps you coming back for more, so not only is it tasty, it's also really fun to eat. Now, if you've had this dish at your favorite Vietnamese restaurant before, it might seem a little intimidating to make, but it's actually really easy to prepare at home. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. Now the first thing we'll have to do is process our sea snails, and today I'm using 12 ounces of these frozen ones. But if you can find fresh ones, that's even better. Now these frozen ones already come with the tips of their shells cut off, so if you're using fresh snails, you'll have to carefully hack it off to make it easier to eat later. And with most bivalves like clam and mussels, we're gonna give these snails a rinse and purge them with salt water for half an hour. And even though the frozen ones should be clean already, I still like taking this extra step to ensure that the eating experience is as enjoyable as possible. Go ahead and set them to the side and we'll prep the rest of our ingredients. First, I have a couple of stalks of lemongrass and we'll just cut the tops and bottoms off the stalks and then remove the outer woodsy layer. We'll cut the stalks in half lengthwise, then into quarters before finally mincing. Then I have a small shallot, and we'll also finely mince that up. And if you don't process your garlic cloves in bulk like I do, go ahead and finely mince up a handful of garlic cloves now too. Then I have a couple of Thai chilies that I'll thinly slice on a slight bias. And the Thai chilies are optional, so if you don't like the heat, go ahead and leave this out. And then the last part of our prep is taking our Vietnamese coriander or rau ram and removing the leaves from the stems. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Now, most of these Vietnamese coriander leaves will be going directly into our sauce, but I'll reserve maybe a third of it to chiffonade into fine ribbons to use as a garnish later. And once we have all that done, it's time to put it all together. Now, to a big pan on medium-high heat, we're going to pour in a couple of tablespoons of oil, and then we'll saute all of our aromatics for 1 to 2 minutes or until fragrant. To that, we'll add in our clean sea snails and cook that for another couple of minutes. Then we'll pour in 14 ounces of our coconut milk. To our sauce, we'll add in another 4 ounces of water, bring that up to a rolling boil, and then we'll add in our Thai chilies. And I don't know what happened to my footage here, but we're gonna season it with half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, a tablespoon of sugar, and salt to taste. Go ahead and give that a good mix, reduce the heat to low, and we're gonna let our snails simmer uncovered for 5 to 7 minutes to allow the sauce to reduce and all the flavors to marry. Now, right at the very end, we'll turn off the heat, add in our Vietnamese coriander, and then it's time to plate. We'll get all of our snails and sauce onto a plate and top that with more of our Vietnamese coriander. Now, the best way to eat these is just picking up each snail and sucking them right out of their shell. But sometimes that doesn't always work, so you can also use a toothpick to help you get them out of there. And for the sauce, I highly recommend a nice crusty Vietnamese baguette to sop up all that delicious coconut milk. Or, if you're like me, sometimes I just drink it straight up. And just like that, you've made an incredible and authentic Len Xào Dừa at home. As always, the recipe and measurements are on my blog at feedthepudge.com. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments section, have you ever tried snails before? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.